present. And permission to actually retrieve evidence from the bench first.
Yes.
And to approach the witness.
Fine.
Sure.
Actually, we can keep this one.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Bancroft. I just have a few questions for you, okay?
Sure. Good afternoon.
I would like to start off with the March 31st transcript, okay?
This one?
Yes. Now, that was a meeting between yourself, Officer Keenan, and your executive assistant.
Yes, Miss Corey Hyde was there as well.
And that was the first time that you had ever met Mickey Keenan.
Yes, that's correct.
And to you, you didn't know that Mickey Keenan was an officer, did you?
No, I was so surprised to learn that he actually was, because he made it so clear throughout this entire process that I should be offering a bribe.
Well, when you first met him, you actually thought that he was an auditor, isn't that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So on March 31st, in that transcript, your assistant never actually brings up the word bribe, isn't that true?
Ms. Hyde said that I should sweeten the pot, which to me very clearly meant that I should be offering a bribe.
Okay, but besides that, nowhere in there does Corey Hyde actually say that you have to bribe someone.
No, the insinuation was made, but she didn't actually explicitly say bribe.
And nowhere in that transcript did Mickey Keenan ever specifically tell you that you had to make a bribe, isn't that true?
He told me that I should be pitching more than ideas and that I needed to make Chase Covington happy. I certainly knew what that meant.
Okay. I want to move on to the second transcript that you have in your hand.
This one.
That happened on April 15th, 2015, isn't that true?
Yes, it did.
Well, on line 16, you actually say, "I don't think so. We've been doing this kind of thing a long time. There's no need for a middleman. I mean, it doesn't take Mickey to clue me in that sometimes you have to get your hands dirty to get things done in Midlands." And that's what you said, isn't that true?
I was willing to say anything at that point so I could get Chase Covington to meet with me alone so I could see if I could convince her to change her mind. So, yes, I said that, but not because I meant it.
Okay. Now, I want to go back to the meeting on April 13th. That was the second meeting that you had with Mickey Keenan, isn't that true?
Yes, it is.
Chase Covington was also there?
Yes.
In that meeting, you were handed a napkin by Mickey Keenan.
I wouldn't say handed, he more just shoved it in my face.
Well, you received a napkin, yes?
Yeah, he shoved it in my face, I picked it up and tried to not let it distract me. I put it on the table next to me.
Well, when you received that napkin with a pen, you actually wrote on it, yes equals 150K, yes?
The first time, no, absolutely not. I just put it down on the table next to me.
The second time, you wrote yes equals 150K.
Yes, that's correct.
And you handed it to Covington.
Yes, Miss Covington.
She slid it back to you.
Yes, and I was so relieved for a moment because I thought maybe I'd misunderstood her.
And then you picked up the pen again, yes?
Mickey handed me another pen.
And you wrote yes equals 250K, isn't that true?
Yeah, after he leaned over and said, I think she said 250,000 reasons, I thought that maybe that was what I was supposed to do, so I tried it.
Now, earlier on direct examination, you said that you felt like the commissioner, Covington, could take away your Black Bear Casino if you didn't go through with the bribe. That's true?
That was certainly a large concern of mine, yes.
Just to be clear, Officer Keenan never told you this.
No, I've worked with the Gambling Commission my entire life. I've worked in the casino since I was, I think, around 18, so I knew that from my own experience, not from what Mickey Keenan told me.
Okay. And now, I want to talk to you about April 16th. You actually went into your own office that day before the meeting, isn't that true?
Yes, I was in my office multiple times that day.
And you had a black briefcase?
Yes, I brought my briefcase.
You put $200,000 into the briefcase.
Yes, I did.
And then you proceeded to the April 16th meeting.
Yes, I met with Ms. Covington at the blackjack table in the VIP room.
I want to talk about before you got to the VIP room, because you were actually supposed to meet Chase Covington in room 312, isn't that correct?
Yes, that is.
But Chase Covington was not there.
Oh no, she didn't show up to that meeting at all.
So that's when you went down to the VIP room, isn't that right?
Not exactly, counselor. I was really just walking around my casino. I like to see where things stand in my business and make sure that my staff is operating efficiently. So I started walking around the casino and I ran into Miss Covington in the lobby.
You ran into Miss Covington in the lobby with that briefcase of $200,000, is that what you're telling us?
Yes.
Then you guys went to a blackjack table.
Well, actually, I went there first. Miss Covington went to go get some coffee.
You still went to the blackjack table, yes?
Yes, and then Miss Covington met me there a few minutes after that.
And that was when you gave Miss Covington the $200,000, isn't that true?
No, I just sat there, and after a few minutes, Miss Covington picked up the briefcase and walked out.
Right. And now, you said a lot on direct examination that Officer Keenan forced you and pressured you to make this bribe. So I just want to go through some of the choices that you could have done. Now, you said that on direct examination you did not go to the police, isn't that true?
Yes, absolutely. I was concerned if I did, then I would lose my livelihood and my family legacy, the Black Bear Casino.
Officer Keenan never threatened you not to go to the police, yes?
No, Officer Keenan didn't threaten me. That came from Miss Covington.
And now, you also said that you felt threatened by Chase Covington because she was on the board of directors, but you are aware that there are 2 other board members on that commission, right?
I am, yes, but Ms. Covington is the head of the Gambling Commission, and so she's the one with the most authority on the board.
And so instead of going to the 2 board members saying that you felt pressured by this one person, you just decided to go through with the bribe, isn't that true?
I was worried if I did that, then Ms. Covington would hear about it from her 2 close coworkers, and that the end result would still be the same. I would lose this casino that my father had worked so hard for.
So instead, you decided to commit a illegal act.
No, I didn't decide to. I was forced into it.
You were forced into it. You didn't tell the police, isn't that true?
No, I didn't tell the police.
You didn't tell your assistant, Corey Hyde.
No, Ms. Corey Hyde knew about it. She'd been present for all the meetings and all the blatant insinuations that Mickey Keenan was making.
You didn't tell the other 2 board members that you felt pressured.
No, as I said, I was concerned that if I did that, then I would lose the Black Bear.
You didn't tell anyone that you felt pressured, isn't that true?
No, I didn't actively tell anyone, no.
Thank you. I have no further questions. Permission to retrieve evidence.